5, 5, 5, 5, and Q.
Hello, everybody. Right, enough of that. It's great to see you. I hope you're well. Welcome to another Monday night here at the Monday Club, except no Temu-based or otherwise substitute. I'm Jenny Kirk here to, oh my word, thank you so much, right off the mark, Ryan Tune, 12244, member for 10 months, says an epic Monday Club live stream. Absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much. So we've got Anth Nil, Mr. Pal, Flymo Chairman 1, David Scott, Ham Shackleton, Richard Knowles, Robert Becking, Ben Tullett, Summer Breeze, Mother Railway, Jordan Hunter, Paul Grant, Harry Sedgwick, Valleys 56XX, Stevie Film, Hillside Junction Railway, RG Models 86, Awesome Bricks, Andy Bettis, Andy Fryers Junction, Darren Faulkner, Beth G, Marcus Muggins, Jay Risner, Gubbin Box Models, Simon Trains, Mother Railway, Harrick, Caroline Rogers, Warbler Productions, Almond Bank Model Railway, Prince Lone, and Trevor Bell, TT120. It's great to see you all, and I hope you are well.
Gubbin Box Models. I recognise that name. I'm pretty sure I bought a certain 3D printed locomotive body off them, which I'm painting up as a.
Is that what you're currently painting? Oh, wow,
yes.
Brilliant.
My goodness, small world.
It is, yeah. So, so there we go. Anywho, we've got an action-packed show for you again today. Coming on a little bit later on, we've got Roka Models joining us live from Billings, Montana, to talk to us about their currently just released Spiral LPG tank cars, the 33.7 thousand gallon ones. Really interesting tank cars, and you may also remember the ATSF tank cars that they produced previously, also the auto racks, and we're going to be talking about all things US railroad modelling.
Bright and beautiful.
So it's always a pleasure to catch up with Robert Steers from Roka Models. He'll be coming on in a little bit.
Yes, he's a good guy, top man.
Absolutely, and one of the really great supporters of this channel. So huge thanks to Robert for coming on the show. What else do we have in the news, Cupboard Monkey?
We've got some news.
Yes.
Someone managed to burn down Glasgow railway station.
Actually, no, they didn't burn down the railway station. They burnt down some really nice old Victorian buildings next door.
Yeah, including that giant domed one.
Yeah, the big dome, and also the subway. I liked eating at that subway. That's actually where, when I was up at Model Rail Scotland, I actually got a subway in that subway, which was next door to the vape shop.
And you managed not to burn it down.
Nothing to do with me. So, really sorry to see that. I actually really hope that when they rebuild the building, we don't get some modern monstrosity.
We're going to get a monstrosity.
That they actually recreate the facade and the dome and bring back that that building. But yeah, really sad to hear about that. What else is in the news?
Craig from Iron Horse Railways is now doing live streams on Wednesdays.
Yeah,
we had a very good turnout last week.
Actually, yeah, and it was a great live stream. It's always a pleasure to watch a live stream with somebody as knowledgeable as Craig. He's been a guest here on this show many, many times, but now he's looking to do a regular Wednesday live stream, and it was actually really great. He did some live shunting, running his train, shooting the breeze, and it's always a pleasure to hear from somebody doing a live stream who actually knows exactly what they're talking about.
It was actually, he was so good that I was almost late for my own live stream on Wednesdays, because mine starts at 7:30. His starts at 7, so I thought, well, I'll show up. I'll see how he's doing a minute. And,
I forgot about your live stream. Yeah. I kept watching Craig all the way.
I almost did. I was late for my own stream because Craig was actually really interesting.
Simon Train's Mother Railway says, sadly, 35 businesses are gone from the fire in Glasgow.
Goodness.
Not including Subway, but hope everyone is okay. I don't believe anybody was injured.
No, but I did hear that someone had been dragged away by security when they were going to go in, and try and put the fire out in the vape shop that had caused this.
Yeah. So anyway, well.
But of course, I don't have any proof of that. I'm only passing on what I've heard.
Oh, thank you. A big hello to DJK666, a member for 14 months.
My goodness.
My word. He says, so I've not been making curries in Glasgow. Wasn't me. But yeah, of course, there's far more businesses than those that you see at ground level. Of course, there were actually quite tall buildings, a lot of offices in there.
4 stories, if I remember correctly.
The Growler Blackwood Engage says there is nothing left of the building, unfortunately.
That
Glasgow
does not
Central
surprise me.
isn't damaged. More importantly, the Blue Lagoon Chippy has gone.
Oh, no.
Yeah, a bit of a local landmark. So hopefully these places will rebuild.
Yeah, absolutely.
Roger Windsor says Craig is a natural, great orator. Yeah, it's always great.
He's so easy to listen to as well.
And of course, as well, he works the chat comments as well. So it's nice when they
that's the major thing. You've got to have both ways.
Yeah, you've got to actually acknowledge the people who've turned out, and Craig does that really well.
It helps build community, and it also gives a bit of back and forth, which is essential to a proper conversation. Otherwise, it becomes like a TED talk or a lecture, which is fine if you'd want to tune in for that.
Yeah.
But when you want a community, you have to be doing this.
Okay. So, what else is in the news?
We were in Preston over the weekend.
Yes, we were. We went to the Preston Model Railway Exhibition, and this is something following on from the video that I helped Craig out with at the Keighley show, where we were showing that you don't need to spend a fortune to actually do this hobby. Because I met a lot of people actually who agreed with me about picking up the cheap, older tooling, Hornby J94s, things like that. And actually, just to prove that wasn't a fluke, actually over on the Footplate Models stand at the Preston show, they had a J94 at £20, a Hornby one. So
for that, you can't be robbed.
You cannot be robbed for that, and it just shows it wasn't a fluke, it wasn't a one-off. They are out there.
Yeah.
Although it must be said that numbers were down quite dramatically at the Preston show. There was a major incident on the M6 which closed it, obviously made for travel misery all day on the Saturday for people trying to get there. And I believe that
Hill was also affected by
I can imagine. It's a major arterial road, so it just really messes up everything when it's shut for the day. Also, I believe at one point the M61 northbound was shut too, which kind of basically shut off the north from the south.
My goodness.
SHGP Media says, I ran 2 £20 locos at the weekend on Abbott Darcy. Both ran with no issues and looked great. Absolutely. And I think, there's this... I think it's a noisy minority that seems to think they're entitled to brand new tooled models at pittance prices. But actually, the silent majority know where you can get the good deals, and that's what we set out to prove and managed to prove.
To be honest with you, that happens in every hobby. In wargaming, there's always someone that says, why can't I have the latest Games Workshop stuff at prices from the 80s? Because it's not the 80s.
Yeah,
simple as that.
Les Kirk says, have we any Hornby 00 aficionados amongst us? Well, technically me, yes, I did treat my dad with some models at the show. I mean, God, there was stuff that back in the day, in the 1990s, early 2000s, you never saw for love nor money, and that were kind of almost mythical, went for stupid figures, are now being sold at really great prices. And so I've been revisiting childhood Hornby 00, picked up a Southern Railway Monsell Green N2 tank locomotive. I know you might think N2 Southern, bit of an oxymoron that, but yeah, Hornby 00, it just shows how times have changed.
Hornby 00
they used the same tooling. Yeah, but they basically used the same tooling for all of the big four.
Yeah, and they did whatever they wanted because it was a new frontier. You've got to remember these things.
Yeah, and actually, it's interesting. SHGP Media says, ironically, my £200 DCC sound-fitted loco wouldn't run as being sent back. Unfortunately, the more complicated and delicate modern locomotives get, the more chance there is having issues.
So we have one more thing that I know is in the news. Pico's putting its prices up.
Yes. So this happened without warning. I know a few retailers have been caught on the hop with this. Because what you tend to find is that retailers will kind of build up a basket, then place the order once they get over a threshold. What have you got stuck to your badge, your blue one at the top? It's like you got something stuck to it. Paper?
It appears to be part of the wrapping for the price sticker that was on the thing that I'm doing. It's gone in. It's all right.
No, it hasn't.
Oh, I'm sorry. So I'm currently building this,
Yes,
the
you are.
Sherman Firefly. I picked this up from Roka Models because I'm doing a wargaming channel and I need some tanks. So I'm building a Sherman Firefly. I'll be doing that during the show.
Yeah. I've just furnished her with a brand new scalpel blade.
Yes.
So it's
I've also
really
got this. I picked this up. At,
she's got a sonic screwdriver.
I'm so happy with this.
It's
not just a fidget spinner. It's an Archimedes screwdriver.
Well, actually, it's what my dad would actually, I remember growing up, refer to these as a Yankee screwdriver. But it's not actually a screwdriver. You can put a screwdriver bit in it, but it's ostensibly a modelling drill bit,
which is exactly what I need for drilling the barrels of guns on models.
Les Kirk says Jay is being a bit easy. That's what the guidebook said. She got really excited about what was at the Preston show.
Oh my God! You should.
Yeah.
You should have seen.
Not one, not two, but 3 stalls with Hornby 00 bargains on.
She was like a kid in a candy shop.
Peter Joyce says, I feel so sad about the fire in Glasgow. Being a structural engineer, I know how much damage is caused and the work it takes to rebuild it, and the businesses will lose everything. Love to all affected.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And this is what we keep saying.
Yeah, and
fire is the worst enemy.
Yes, and on that subject,
indiscriminate.
On that subject, safety first. Weir Yard has its own fire extinguisher now. So
we did have one in the kitchen, but we never.
Well, we still
thought
have
about having one up here.
We still have.
Don't fiddle on. Don't fiddle on.
There we. I was just tightening that up. I was pretending to be my dad. He likes to fiddle with things. But there we go. We've still got the pin in, so it's all is safe. But this, people, is really, really important.
Yeah.
Make sure you're well protected. And, you know, as we saw with Ken Patterson with his model railway route.
We almost saw it last week with you.
Yeah, and we had a frog polarity change go pop and actually melt the foam board that part of the tunnel was made of on the inside. It got that hot. And you think, you know, leaving stuff unattended, that could really develop. So, we have purchased this fire extinguisher. It's actually carbon dioxide.
Which is exactly what you want for an electric fire.
Yeah, for electrical fires, this is the bad boy you need. But also, it's a lot less messy. We do have a powder extinguisher downstairs in the kitchen. The reason we've got that is because in a kitchen environment, you're likely to have potentially things like oil-based fires, you know, if a frying pan goes up. So a powder-based extinguisher is probably a better thing for that. But SHGP Media, one of the first things I put in the garage when I started using it for modelling was a CO2 extinguisher. Mm-hmm. Don't ever plan to use it, you and me both. But it's there if I need it.
You don't want to need it, but you need to have it.
It's basically a kind of insurance policy. By having it, it makes it less likely that you'll need it. It's a bit like taking an umbrella with you. Because you're prepared, it probably won't rain. Tim Shaw says we used to play Ghostbusters with the expired ones.
Jen, it's almost time. We have a caller, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Someone is checking in.
Yes, they are. So, back for the check-in, and right, let's have a look then. Have you?
Oh yeah, we've got another thing this week. It's finally arrived. We were supposed to have this last week a microphone. Sorry, a headphone splitter.
Yes, so
it's a very simple thing.
Yes.
It didn't arrive in time, so that's why Craig was sat last week.
Yeah, but as some people say, like, why does Craig look like he's bored? Because he couldn't hear the other side of the conversation, but we've got that sorted. Warbler Productions is a CO2 powder, though powder does create more mess. We'll make sure you do not overdo using the CO2 extinguisher as it will replace the oxygen quickly. that is also a consideration.
That's
but
why
you know,
they're so effective.
yeah, but you can't use the CO2 when outdoors, just to warn you about that. So if you're anywhere where it's windy, then a CO2 extinguisher isn't going to work.
So I'm now going to bring that up. If you want to keep checking the chat there, I will now get...
we're going to... Oh, wait a minute. Before we do, should we run VT?
Yeah, go on then.
So, Robert Steers from Roka Models, just let you know, we're going to run the intro first, and then we'll be right back in.
Welcome to the Monday Club, your online model rail club for all the news, gossip, layout tours and more, with your host, broadcaster and model maker, Jennifer Kirk.
There we go, you can hear me now. I think you've turned the microphone... I don't know, is that back to where it was before? It looks a bit high.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, okay, so we're now calling up Robert Steers from Roka Models. Oh, wow, you answered that ever so quick. So, Robert Steers, hello to you. Welcome to the Monday Club. It's really great to see you, and I do hope that you're well. It's about, I think it must be about 1:15 in the afternoon. Am I right? Over there in Montana?
Correct. Thanks for having me on.
You're absolutely welcome. Thank you for coming on. And certainly you've been a huge supporter of the channel over the years. Been a great friend as well. People might know you from appearing on What's Neat This Week. I believe you've been on that show as well. But thank you so much for joining us here. And I'm really impressed with the spiral LPG tank cars that Roka Models is in the process of releasing. I know from talking to you a little while back, I know Chinese New Year really, you had the stocks air freighted in to make sure that they weren't delayed by that. Is that a big problem as a manufacturer, having to work around things like that to ensure that your stock doesn't get delayed?
Well, I think it's a challenge. There are always delays, especially when you're, shipping from the other side of the world. But no, the situation now is that we wouldn't have had these models for another 2 months if I had not air freighted them in. There's just delays in the ports, delays in the airports, delays in getting a container, you name it, where the delays are. And one of the interesting thing is they typically don't tell you what questions to ask. So it's a learning process. So I've learned never to ask for or think about having a project delivered like, after December 1st, say.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're here.
And how well are they selling? I know you sent a message out on your mailing list saying that actually some of the running numbers were actually getting very, very low on supply. So have they been selling really, really well?
Yeah, we have just a bit over half of the run that was pre-ordered, reserved, no cash down payment reservations that we're fulfilling now. And we've had other customers who've just discovered us, and we have half a dozen bricks and mortar hobby shops and another half a dozen internet vendors who have also discovered us. So yeah, we're we're this particular run, I'm hopeful is going to sell out fairly soon.
And it's followed hot on the heels of the ATSF tank cars as well. And you did a firefighting version of those too, which is very, very unusual. Obviously you're focused on the US.
Well, I couldn't help myself.
Yeah, they're really...
Sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, no, they're really quite a unique tank car, and obviously part of the lifespan of those bogie tank cars that towards the end of their lives they were used for effectively carting water to remote locations in case of fires. Because I think, in the UK we don't tend to have wooden bridges, but in the US there's a lot of wooden trestles still. So they are a big fire risk, and often in quite remote locations. So tank cars like that would have been sat ready and waiting in case of difficulties. And it's an unusual prototype to model, but definitely one that's very, very interesting.
Thank you. I just couldn't resist. Basically, there's so many variations of those 16,000-gallon tank cars made by a company called GATC. And as you say, when they came out of revenue service, they were put to all sorts of different uses. And one of the ones that fascinated me were the fire hose and fire spraying cars. They're also, and those were all over the place. And it's a very distinctive model, and nobody had ever done it before. And I thought it needed to be done for in the 4 different paint schemes that we identified. They've been really well accepted. We're almost sold out of all of them, to be honest with you. I was a bit surprised, but no, it's been an adventure, both researching them and then people see them all the time, or at least used to. And there are these types of firefighting equipment on the railroads here still exist. They're just using much bigger tank cars now, 25, 30,000 gallon tank cars. So that was a fun project, and it still is. And we also did in terms of water. The Santa Fe had specific. They would clean out some of these tank cars, paint them aluminum, and then send them to various outposts on the railroad in the southwest of the United States, just for water supplies, potable water. And some communities, they would just bring these tank cars in, these aluminum painted tank cars, and use that for the town's water, pump it up into the town's water tower, and keep the customers happy. So it's really interesting that this part of the railroad. To me, it's interesting in that it was never really modeled before, and these models, I think, look spectacular, if I may say, in a yard, in a siding, and they're a real conversation piece, because they were there all the time, but you don't really, we haven't seen them modeled before.
And it's very similar in the UK. There were communities, things like remote signal boxes, which would have a tank car that would be ferried to them for drinking water. So I guess it's a similar sort of principle. And you've also done the auto rack cars, which are absolutely huge behemoths. They must be some of the biggest freight cars that have run in the US. They're pretty much at the maximum envelope of the actual clearance of what you can run on the railroad.
I was very impressed with those.
But the thing about those is that the sides, the actual real auto rack cars for carrying brand new cars from the factory, they're sort of like a mesh effect. So they've got lots and lots of individual holes, and your models actually replicate that so perfectly. And I remember watching the guys on What's Neat this week were actually blown away by how you'd managed to achieve that. Are you finding that with the advancement of technology, it opens the door on making models that might not have been possible to have practically made previously.
Yes, indeed. Those models, which were those safe pack models, were they couldn't have been done with a single piece of injected styrene molding for the sides. 4 or 5 years ago, it would have been prohibitively expensive. We were able to get those holes down to a prototypical size. It was expensive, but I really wanted to have them be something special. That was our premier, introductory model for this company, and they're very, very interesting. They have a very interesting history. They served a very specific purpose at a critical time for the automotive industry here and in North America. Pardon me. And it was a fun model to do, but it was it was challenging because our manufacturers they were just like, well, here's some small holes. No, they need to be smaller still, until it came to a point where they just said, look, we can make these really small, but these models are going to be hundreds of dollars. So it was an interesting endeavor, and today I think it's much more advanced. We're looking at a second run of those in 2027 probably, and the technology has jumped forward even from then. So what it was a challenging project, I'm told, it's now going to be fairly straightforward in terms of injection molding.
That is impressive, the technology for injection molding, because only a few years ago I would have looked at that and thought, there's no way you could have done that in anything but resin. And resin would have been so fragile.
Well, I mean, actually, when I first saw the Safe Pack Auto Rex, I actually thought you'd done it using something like etched brass, because it was that kind of level of detail. But it's just amazing what you've managed to achieve with the moulding process.
It is very impressive.
We've actually had a question come in on the chat from Sarah Davis. Asking about have the new tariffs caused you any problems, or have you been able to navigate those without too much trouble?
We were lucky, so to speak. The tariffs here were destabilizing, difficult, added uncertainty beyond belief. From the tariff of the day being 20% to 35% to 50%, back to 30%, all of those have been swept away by the U.S. Supreme Court. Now we're facing a 15% tariff, which we've eaten all of it. We're not passing any of that along to our customers. And that is also an irritant, to be polite about it. It's a real nuisance and unnecessary, and it's damaged, or I should say hindered, a lot of small businesses in the U.S. And put others out of business. And it is something we're able to deal with. But when we were really in this spiral tank car project, to be quite honest, we said, boy, we can't swallow a 30%, 50%, whatever. So tariff du jour was there, and so we just decided to ride it out. And there are mechanisms where you can import things and not pay the tariff for a year or two. But we just decided to ride it out and have faith in the common sense of the American people, so to speak, to say enough is enough. So we feel lucky that we just got away with a haircut of 15%, to be honest with you. Maybe we'll get that back someday. I don't know.
I've
my
heard
kids
that,
will. Whoever.
I've heard there's a bit of a fight on at the moment for businesses are technically entitled to get the refund, but I think they're going to have to really push to get that. But I suppose what any business wants is certainty. You want to know what the cost is going to be and not have it kind of change without any notice at all. So I guess the fact that it's now stabilized makes business a lot easier.
Yeah, we have the similar thing here whenever the budget comes up.
Mm. Oh, we've got a little visitor
This
there.
is
Hello.
pardon me. This is Chief of Security Abby.
Oh wow! Oh, a little
Are they a
cute.
Labrador?
Oh, a cutie
Yes.
little dog.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh, I love Labradors.
So she's a good dog, and she just wants to. Okay, all right. It's LUNCH time. Okay, it's all right. It's okay. Anyway, pardon me.
No worries.
The one last thing in the tariffs, if I may, is that we're eating all of the 15% tariffs. That's not changed our MSRP.
Mm-hmm.
That gives some level of pain, but it's these models are for fun. They're for satisfaction. They we're really into the historical aspect of it. I appreciate you and Zoe for highlighting the fun and play aspect of it, and our MSRP of $65 basically is that we think that's the best sales point based on our evaluation of the market, and so at least these tariffs are going to be stable for the next until July probably, but we'll see.
And I guess at the end of the day, all the other manufacturers in the US are in the same boat, because by and large, they're all getting their products from factories out in China. So it's something that, the likes of Rapido, Bachmann, Athern, Walthers, all the others are in exactly the same boat with that, with the costs. But we've got on screen now one of your new spiral tank cars.
I love these.
It's
Thank you.
a really interesting design, and when you explained it to me, it made such sense why they would build a tank car for high pressure compressed natural gas this way. But just talk us through a little bit about what makes these tank cars so unique. We talk about the spiral tank cars. What exactly are we talking about there?
Well, traditionally tank cars were made by welding together various cylinders, often a butt weld, a flat to flat weld. That's expensive, and it can cause problems when those tank cars are injured or damaged in terms of those cylinders breaking apart. With liquefied petroleum gas at a pressure of 330 pounds per square inch, that's a big bang.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So this new technology, which is not just on this type of tank car, but on many other tank cars that are being produced now, instead of having these cylinders, there's a strip of hot rolled steel that is then just rolled around a mold at about a 7-degree angle. So and then those are cut in half and butt welded together. The types of welding there are a lot of variations. I've counted up to, I think, 5 now different variations of these overlapping welds.
Wow.
Over, under, over. There's all sorts of variations. So we've just chose 2 of the lap weld variations that we commonly see in the freight yard here in Billingsmont.
So essentially, what we're looking at here,
these are stronger tank cars.
Oh, sorry, I was just saying. So essentially, what we're looking at is is a single piece of steel that's been rolled into a kind of a spiral, and then the spiral butt welded against itself. So you presumably get a lot less joins in the full tank car, which makes it inherently stronger.
Yes, indeed, and it's much less puncture-proof, and the technology makes it so that the tank ends or tank heads don't pop off as easily if the tank itself is punctured. But remember, what we're seeing in model form is only the outside jacket of steel that's been wrapped and butt welded. Inside of that, inside of the outer jacket, is a layer of insulation, of course, because when you compress this liquefied petroleum gas, you get heat. And then inside of that insulation layer is another lap welded steel tank. So these are very sturdy tank cars with a much lower risk of being punctured if they're in an accident. So these are this type of technology, as I mentioned, is spreading across all of these tank car productions. It's stronger, it's less expensive to build the prototypes, and it's safer, and it meets the current U.S. and Canadian Departments of Transportation, Ministry of Transportation guidelines.
Oh, that's...
So I couldn't help myself. We just see a lot of them here. Where we on any given day, there are literally hundreds of these in the Billings rail yard. I don't trespass, but I do stand in the back of my Land Cruiser with my telephoto lens and take a lot of pictures. So,
but I mean, in the US, the railroads do tend to be much more open. Certainly over here, we've seen a proliferation of things like palisade fencing that segregates the railway property from the surrounding area to make it very hard to actually get close to them. But one of the things I've noticed in the US is they seem to have much more open railroads. There doesn't seem to be things like fences as much. So presumably, is it a lot easier to get close and take photos of the prototype?
Well, yes and no, in that for me, safety is incredibly important, and rail yards are dangerous places. There's obviously a lot of heavy equipment rolling around, and men and women working very hard to get the job done and not be injured. So I don't climb fences. I don't trespass. But what I do do is I unleash my telephoto lens, standing in the back of my truck or in the back of my Land Cruiser, and take photographs. So I've been researching these particular type of tank cars for over 2 years. So I have thousands of photographs of all of these. Indeed, all of the tank cars that we're offering, the different paint styles and reporting marks from leasing companies, are based on my actual photographs. So they're all models of actual prototypes that are here. It's an interesting industry. There are where we live, there are easily trains of hundreds of various types of tank cars moving east and west. But it's a fun model to build, a fun model to research, and at times I think I've gone far too down the rabbit hole on this, but I really wanted to get these right, because this is a big breakout model for us, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, I must admit, we've interviewed quite a few different manufacturers over the years on the channel, and it's something that comes up quite a lot, that when you start doing the research, a lot of people do say they find livery options or late-lasting vehicles that then it's like, well, we've got to do that one. And like you say, it's a bit of a rabbit hole. And, we've seen all sorts of curious models appear because the researchers at the companies found these really exciting examples. So over here, there's been a proliferation of pre-grouping, which is pre-1923 rolling stock. But actually, what some of the researchers have found is that some of the these vehicles actually lasted through into the 1980s in things like engineers' liveries being used as part of permanent way maintenance or internal users. And these have kind of come out as really quite interesting and quirky liveries on anachronistic freight wagons that can nonetheless sit alongside some quite modern rolling stock, which I think is great. But you've also sent us some pictures of your some of the just talk us through a little bit the lumber cars as well. You mentioned to me.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. The This is our next project that we announced at the Amherst train show in Springfield, Massachusetts this past January with the big snowstorm that paralyzed everybody. But it was a great show, and this is a model that is moving into production now with hopeful arrival late this spring, early summer. And these are yet another model of something that's never been done and ready to run before. These are a type of lumber cars that have different side door configurations so that the whole sides can, the doors, can slide along the whole sides so that a forklift can get lumber into them, etc.
Nice.
These were built in the early 70s. They lasted until the early 2000s, as far as we can figure. They're very colorful. There are a lot of short line U.S. and Canadian companies that had these cars, and one mainline U.S. transcontinental line had these cars. They've never been done before. The prototypes are made by a company named Evans, and they're called side sliders. We'll have 3 different versions of them. Because, as you say, you just can't do one version, right? I mean, Well, I have to have like several versions. And so we're doing 3 different versions. Each version has 3 different paint schemes, some of which are quite bold and eye-catching. And each of those paint schemes has 4 car numbers. So it's a project that is another labor of love, and it's coming in very soon. Well, soon, this probably May or June, and it's been a lot of fun dealing with it because a lot of people, once we announced it at Springfield, Massachusetts in January, a lot of folks came up to us and said, we've always wanted that car. They're so colorful, they're so interesting. So we've had a big response so far on that. Opening those to pre-reservations, no cash down pre-reservations on our website next week, if all goes well. And we have 2 other projects finishing, 2 other projects in tooling, I should say, excuse me, that are top secret. I'll come back on and talk to you about those.
Absolutely.
I'd be happy to. But we'll be announcing one of those in.
Sorry, you were saying, do go. Sorry,
we'll be announcing one of those in a couple of weeks.
Excellent. I'm really looking forward to it. And we're trying to find it. The computer's running a bit slow at the moment. Yeah, I know you sent us over a load of different pictures.
I think I've got it.
We think we found them for the side sliders. So we're just trying to bring that up, but it's incredibly slow loading the pictures. But I mean, do you find? I suppose, as being the CEO of a model manufacturing company, is there an element of producing the models first and foremost that you want as a modeler, or do you have to approach projects with a little bit of an economical mindset where you think, well, look, we need to do something that enough people want that we're going to be commercially successful with sales?
Absolutely. There are some variations, but typically all of our runs so far have been models that have never been produced before and ready to run. And that's a niche in the market that is a little more risky, so to speak. But we do a fair amount of research, what people like, what they won't like. There is risk with it because I think a lot of people really don't know what they like until they see it, and then they want it. And that's the case with the side sliders and the spiral tank cars and the safe packs, as well as and the fire cars. But yeah, that's part of the risk is will the model be accepted? But also, one of the major things we do is that we're looking for prototypes to model, where the specific type of railroad car was purchased by numerous different railways, so that we can have different, slightly different versions, different lettering, different numbering styles, to really cast a broader net. But as part of the risk of this business, I think we try and mitigate the risk by having things that have never been done before and ready to run, highest quality possible at a reasonable price. These are expensive. These are not, these are detailed, at times delicate models, but they're if we follow that philosophy, I think people come to realize that we're doing things in a very specific, methodical, consistent way, and I think that makes the product a little more desirable. You add on to that a lot of our research and our sort of so-called marketing is based upon not just, hey, look at this pretty car or a railway model, but why were they made? What were the economic driving forces? What were the political and manufacturing forces that caused these different railroads to buy a specific type of railway car that is manufactured for a specific purpose? And that's, I think people, customers, friends, other modelers understand that is that these are very we're selling the model, but we're also selling a model that's historically accurate, that's prototypically accurate, and that were built for a reason, And so if you want to model, say with the Safe Pack models, if you want to model the period in the late 70s after the Middle East oil crisis, that's why these Safe Pack prototypes were made. If you want to model the LPG petroleum industry today, that's why these spiral tank car or the spiral tank car technology has now come to the fore. Very specific reasons. It's less expensive, safer, all these things. So I really think our customers and our friends really understand that that's our target. And that makes, I think, the models more desirable and less risky to do. But I have a lot of friends and acquaintances from big railway clubs and spectacular model builders who really have their ear to the rail about what they think people want. And surprisingly, it's almost unanimous when something comes up. They'll say, "Well, that's a good idea," And, but anyway, it's part of the fun of this actually too. Is when you bring these forward, people they may never have seen it before, but they like it, and when you describe the history to them, the accuracy, etc., that really sells it. And in a certain respect, there is risk, but I think the models sell themselves. I don't have to go out and go to shows and
Yeah. Although I mean, you've done
with a bullhorn.
But you've done. Actually, you wanted to ask a question, sorry.
There was one thing that when you're talking that.
Yes, sorry.
There's all the reasons why these were developed and why all the railroads bought them. I love that because you're not just getting the model, you're getting the story of the railroads, the history of what you're seeing, the reasons why things developed the way they were. That to me is in some ways even more special than the model itself. The story behind how we got to where we are now and what we're running. I find that fascinating.
Yeah. But just to touch on you mentioned shows there, and actually you said towards the beginning about launching, announcing the new model, the side sliders. We've got a picture of, I assume it's the actual
yes.
engineering. We'd call it an engineering prototype over here, I'm guessing, but I don't know whether you use the same terminology over in the US. But how important are shows like Amherst for getting the message out there about your products? Because I guess it's all very well having a really great product. If people don't know it exists, then it's much harder to sell them a product that they know that they don't even know exists.
Well, it is, especially for a new company or like us. You know, we're still a young company. We've been in business for almost 4 years.
Yeah. Wow.
It was hard getting the word out. The Amherst show, which is amazing, and I hope you and Zoe can come and come over and visit with us next year on this
We'd absolutely love
It'll
to.
blow your minds. But we do a lot of other shows that are here. There's a phenomena that I'm not sure is in the UK. They're called RPMs, or Railroad Prototype Modeling Meets. And the underlying philosophy is that there can be either really big or really small, but the underlying philosophy is the same, which there's no contest. People come and set up their models on tables, and they hang out by the tables and talk about how they built the models, how they weathered the models, how they all sorts of things about the models. And it's a very educationally based thing. But then there's also vendors. So those RPMs attract our customers. That is our target market. Those are skilled modelers, beginning modelers, folks who are interested, and we learn a lot from those shows about what people want or would like. But we also sell a fair amount at those shows, to be honest with you. And it's an interesting phenomena, but we're going to, let me see here, 7 of those in 2026 all around the country, from Massachusetts to Arizona, California, Illinois. And they're all different. They're all run by different people. They're all private endeavors. But every time I go, I learned a lot about model building, a lot about what people want, what they like, don't like, their challenges, their layouts, all sorts of interesting stuff that to me is fascinating. But those are, I don't know if they have those there. If not, you two should start one.
I mean, there are a lot of shows in the UK, and they do vary between being very trade orientated to being where people will show off the models they built. But I think we do have shows like what you've described, and it leads me on to one of the areas that I know we had James Regier on a few weeks ago. I see he's in the chat, so big hello to James Regier, who I know that you know through Ken as well. But
yes.
I've lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. I've gone off on a tangent and I've lost my train of thought.
You're finding it.
That was it. So the actual market in the US, how buoyant is the hobby in the US? Oh,
is everything okay?
I think we've lost the So.
Is that?
I think.
Am I trying to phone myself?
I don't know. I think we've lost the connection there.
I think we have. Am I phoning myself? Well, something is beeping and I can't find it.
I don't. Yeah, something.
Oh, hello.
I think he's calling.
Yeah, if I decline that and read out here.
Right. So, sorry, we've just got a connection issue here. I think we've. There we go.
There we go.
We've got you back.
I'm back.
Yes.
Pardon me.
So, we always have a lot of technical difficulties on here, and
it's because we're trying to run a TV show on the budget of like two cans and a piece of string.
Yeah, we're one step up from Bart Simpson in his treehouse with 2 cups and a piece of string. So, but no, we've got you back. That's brilliant. What I was wanting to ask was, how buoyant is the hobby in the US? Certainly over here in the UK, whilst you get people trying to sensationalise and go, well, it's the end of the hobby, doom and gloom. People aren't coming into the hobby. Actually, I've never seen it more buoyant, and I'm wondering how it looks over in the US in terms of the number of people coming in, how active they are, and also how receptive they are to new models coming in as the prices are creeping up.
Well, it's a period of change. The idea of going to a 4 or 5 day event is just too pricey right now for folks. The days of the print media, unfortunately, is fading as the internet increases. I think, from my perspective, the hobby is stronger than ever, and I base that on these RPM shows, or railway prototype modeling shows, that we go to frequently. There's basically, if the hobby is dying at these shows, I can tell you there are a whole lot of people in their 30s through their 60s at these shows. And there are some very young model builders, model makers, layout builders at these shows. And they're not in their 70s or 80s. They're sometimes in their 20s. So I see it very differently. These folks don't depend much on, from what I understand, it's a generalization, but from what I understand, they're not so dependent on print media. They're much more dependent on YouTube channels and internet sources and channels like yours. And they cruise around the internet looking at web pages and seeing what they want and seeing the reviews. So I think from my perspective, it's stronger than ever.
Yeah.
It's just changed. And depending on how you measure that change, you can either be very pessimistic, as I'm not, or very optimistic that it's just different. It's just different. And, the pace of change for a lot of folks is disorienting.
Yeah. I think,
I'm told time travel is disorienting. So,
I mean, the pace of change is just incredible when you see how far we've come in just 20 years.
Yes.
And I think it's not worse, it's just different. And I always say to people, we live in a golden age of models. We've never had so much choice at such a high level of quality. And you're looking at your own products, looking at the attention to detail, things like the Safe Pack auto racks with all those individual holes, looking at the spiral tank cars where that's actually quite a difficult and complex shape to model, and yet you've managed to do that and to nail the actual look of the prototype. Looking at the fire suppression cars with all of the extra detail, with the hoses, all the different pieces that go into the livery. In some respects, we've never had it so good, and it's very easy to look back with rose-tinted spectacles and say, "Oh, things were better when when stuff didn't cost us anywhere near as much." But actually, when you look at the quality of the models that we get now compared with what we got 30 or 40 years ago, there's no comparison. It's comparing high detailed models with what effectively were toys by today's standard. And I think we're in a golden age of modeling.
I certainly agree. Those models 30, 40 years ago, they were a revolution in their time.
Yeah.
But time progresses, the technology is
our internet connection just dropped for a moment there, but we've got you back. So, sorry, do carry on.
No, it's an interesting time, and there are a lot of models to be done in this new age of high detail, reasonable cost. And it's really is a golden age, and I really enjoy that, because I think that, as you and Zoe have brought up so many times, we're not just selling models, we're selling the history, we're selling the research, all of this stuff, but we're also selling fun and satisfaction. And although a lot of guys probably won't agree with it, we're also selling the play nature of it, the fun of it, and that's I think the level of the models today really bring more satisfaction, more happiness, more fun to customers. I know that probably sounds a little crazy from a manufacturer, but it's a key part of my main.
Oh, we've dropped out again.
We've got weather issues and all sorts here.
So hopefully we're going to regain the stream in just a moment.
That philosophy raises all boats in the water, so to speak.
I totally agree with you. Now, just before we go, and thank you so much for coming on and talking to us about Roka Models. Where would people be able to purchase the models, all the models that we've talked about, the forthcoming models? You mentioned at the beginning about shops that stock the models so that people can actually go and see them before they purchase, as well as ones who stock them online. Where can people find out more and purchase them?
Well, the number one place to get an idea of the whole product line, so to speak, is our website, which is www.rokamodels, ROKAMODELS.com. They're also available if you just Google Roka Models. You'll come up with bricks and mortar and internet dealers. And if your local, if a person's local shop or favorite internet vendor doesn't carry them, ask them. And we'd love to send some to the customer through new connections. But definitely our website is the place to really to get the full depth and scope of what we're doing and what we're bringing in.
Absolutely. And also for our viewers in the UK, I know most of our viewers are in the UK. I know that Rails of Sheffield do have stocks of some of the ATSF tank cars that you did, that the fire suppression ones are based upon. So they models can be got through them. And I presume that they are also able to order things like the Safe Pack auto racks and the spiral cars as well, if people request those.
Absolutely, absolutely. We would love to make those available in the UK through dealers, but also through our website. But it's important. We think it's important to have dealers as well as we're not just selling stuff on our website.
Absolutely.
These dealers are a network, both bricks and mortar and internet. They're a network of fans, enthusiasts, and it just is logarithmic, the amount of impact those have in terms of educating people. Number one, that we exist, and number two, that we have interesting things to sell.
Absolutely. And whilst US prototype modelling in the UK is more niche than modelling the prototype that's here on our doorstep, there are nonetheless a lot of US prototype modelers, and definitely, I think it's a very interesting area with very interesting prototypes. We see short line workings, we see sometimes locomotives pulling maybe one or two cars through some quite rural locations. So there's actually a lot of interesting scope for US prototype modelling, and I think that's something that appeals to modelers the world over, not necessarily from the people that might see it on their doorstep. So look, thank you so much, Robert Steers, for coming on, talking to us about Roka Models. And I think if anybody's wondering, the name of the company, Roka Models, that's a contraction of your first name and your wife's first name. Am I correct in thinking that? So it's Robert and Karen, is it? Am I right?
Correct.
So that's where the name comes from. But look, thank you so much, and we would love to send you one of our special, these are completely exclusive light blue Monday Club badges. So what I would say is, if you can email Zoe your address that we can send this to, we will get one of these in the post. They're only available to guests on the show, and I think if James Regeer is still in the chat, we need to send him one as well. So if he could also send his address, we need to get one in the post to him. But look, thank you so much. It's always an amazing pleasure. And I want to thank you again. You've been such an amazing supporter of this channel. And you've, even, behind the scenes, you've been so amazingly supportive. I can't thank you enough. And thank you so much for saying, we do need to get to Amherst next year. I would love to do that show.
Providing we're allowed in the country. At the moment, we're not.
Well, I don't.
We can get you in.
Yeah. We'll drive over the border in the trunk of a car or something.
Yeah, well, I didn't say that, but we'll get you in. We'll get you in, and I look forward. I really appreciate it. You two have been a great inspiration to me, and I enjoy watching your presentations, and I especially like the Monday Club, as it exudes happiness, joy, satisfaction, all the things that are a big value to me in this hobby and this business. And I it's just been wonderful to get to know both of you. I look forward to seeing you in person, and hopefully sometime in the U.S. and maybe in the U.K. this summer, depending on what my
absolutely. You're always welcome to visit. It would be great if you were in the UK on a Monday. In the area, you are always welcome to come and actually sit here in the loft and marvel at how much smaller this room probably is than what it looks on the television set. But look,
I would love to see it, and I would love to come back on in a couple of weeks, if with your permission, of course, to announce this new project that is moving into production.
Yes, certainly.
It is brand new, but I don't want to keep you. But
no
thank
worries.
you again. And
well, look, you have yourself a really great afternoon. I think it's probably just gone past 2 o'clock in the afternoon where you are. Am I right in thinking that, or are you?
No, it's you are correct. It's 14:07 here.
Wow.
I'm going to sign off and go pack up some spiral tank cars to ship out. So
no worries.
That's my afternoon.
Well, look, take care, and it's always a pleasure to have you on. So thank you so much, Robert Steers from Roka Models over in Billings, Montana. So thank you for coming on and talking to us a little bit about the products of this fantastic company. So
thanks.
There we go. We're just having a look through the chat. So James Regeer's model says, "Take care, Robert. See you at the shows." Let's have a look. Raymond Legg says, "We need to stop the chat at 666 minutes." I'm not sure why. James Regeer's model is going to send over his address as well. We need to get this sent. And actually, as you are a frequent guest on What's Neat This Week, James, we'll also send you one to pass on with our compliments to Sir Ken of Patterson.
What did you do to this camera?
I accidentally hit it with my head. So, right, it's gone very warm up here.
It's gone very quickly tonight, my goodness.
It has, yeah. So, thank you so much to Robert Steers. We do have a lot of pictures to show that he sent through. The problem is they're quite large pictures, and it made the computer chug quite a lot when we were trying to do the stream, running multiple cameras, and then on top of that doing the FaceTime video call. So we haven't been able to show all of the pictures that we wanted.
No.
But what we'll do actually is let's share those on the Facebook group. I think that's probably the best way that people can take a look.
So far, I've managed to build the bottom half of a tank, and then while taking out the top, I've got these 4 places where I'm supposed to put little hooks, and 2 of them have been eaten by the carpet gods.
Oh, have you? Well,
I have no idea where they've gone.
The problem is that because they're not metal, what I do is, top tech tip for you guys, have yourself a little set of neodymium magnets, and then when the carpet gods try and take their sacrifice of things like screws, you waft this over the carpet and it sucks them from their grasp. But you can't do that with plastic things. But also, I've noticed we've got a few latecomers. Gandalf.
I thought I was having a night off.
No, you weren't. No, you
A
weren't.
Monday clubber is never late to the wagons, nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks, Gandalf. Actually, 57305 Northern Princess has arrived. Says hello. I'm late. I was watching Heated Rivalry again and lost track of what I call time. Time is
Time is the bucket in which we sleep.
Yes, it's a human construct. It happens to other people. Naive Gauge says, this week I spent lots of time making a window plug. Let me just change. Oh, we have changed the angle of the dangle. Making a window plug from 100mm PIR and acoustic foam to block out the traffic noise outside my railway room. It does not work.
But now you know how not to make one. And that's a big thing.
What I always say to people, though, is if you hadn't done it, don't think of it like, well, I wasted my time there. No, because if you hadn't done it, you'd always think, I need to do that. And you'd be like, oh, wouldn't it be better if I just did this? So now you've done it, it doesn't then sort of sit over you as like something you need to do.
I genuinely don't have a clue where they went. If you find two small
I will.
hoops, you'll know that they're from my tank.
Oh, hello, James Pets. We do approve. It's great to see you. And James Pets says, the teapot of time has run out of biscuits. Yes. Richard Gruter says, these chocolate custard creams you introduced me to are dangerously addictive.
Oh, they're wonderful.
They are, yes. They are the biscuit of choice. I'm telling you
they're the biscuit of the club.
Yes.
Which is ironic because there is a biscuit called Club.
Yeah. And yes, James Pets, I know it only works for ferrous stuff, but actually a lot of stuff is ferrous, particularly screws, and they tend to be the bits. And like crank pins, things like that. So you know it is quite useful.
Jenny,
yes.
Eat that.
No, is that spent?
No, I'm going to use it for kit bashing.
What, you're going to use it for bashing things, for bashing kits? Right.
Look at this. This is something that I think we need to talk about actually.
Oh, Harp House Holt is having a birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Squash tomatoes and stew, bread and butter in the gutter. Happy birthday to you. So there you are.
So I'm going to bring this up. See this here? We've got green circular sprues with a curve. There's your snap there. There's a drain pipe. You don't even have to do much modelling there.
Actually, one of the things I use these for is for industrial pipe work.
Yeah, piping, or you want a long, thin thing for the centre of a tree because yours is broken, but you've still got the branches there. Pick that brown, you've got a stalk.
I use them a lot for industrial pipe work, and I think it's Ratio. It's either Ratio or Wills. I have a feeling it's Ratio. They do pipe fittings as a kit. Like flanges and valves and stuff, and they're perfect to go with sprue. So actually, a lot of stuff like sprue, you can use that for doing various builds.
Absolutely. Always worth keeping some in your bits box.
The other thing as well is quite a few kits have different parts for building slightly different versions of the same thing. And one of the ones actually which I made a lot of use out of are things like the Airfix World War I tanks, the ones with the big crawlers.
The massive tanks from before we knew how to make a tank.
Yeah, quite literally a water tank with tracks. But they had different turret options, and I made a lot of use of the alternative parts on Minith Tatus. Ravenheart Modelling says, absolutely not here, no, not late here, no.
A Monday clubber is never late to the wagons, nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks, Gandalf. And yes, Zantec, I used to do that with my Airfix ships. Heat them up and melt them into long strings. They make good antennas.
Yeah.
I used to do that with my Airfix battleship kits. Valleys 56XX says, I just had a custard cream, a double choc cookie, a choc digestive cream, and a ginger nut. Yes, so the sugar...
All at once? My God.
The sugar coma will be beckoning shortly.
No one can live at that speed. What are you trying to do, man? Don't be a hero.
And Barry Wendon says, "Sorry, I'm late. I ordered
Lost
the club
another
badge."
one.
But they did order the badge.
A Monday clubber is never late, Toto Wagons. Nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they need to.
Thanks, Gandalf. And CP Model Railway 1801 says, "How many wagons is that DMU hauling?"
Yes.
It has a
The answer
massively
is yes.
Yes. It has a massively unprototypical tail light. I'm glad you guys have spotted that. I was well done. I was wondering who would be the first to spot that. What it actually is that train of coal wagons pretty much lives on that track with different locos getting swapped in. Now the Hellion Class 128 DMU is incredibly heavy, and it's all-wheel drive with a big heavy motor in the centre driving both bogie towers through camshafts. So actually it's probably more powerful, in fact it certainly is more powerful than a lot of locomotives. So I've just put it through a sound decoder installation. So it's been fitted with the HM7000 sound decoder, but running the Class 121 sound profile. Warbler Production says, "My badge arrived safely on Saturday."
Oh, fantastic.
Excellent. Good to know. I hope you're very, very pleased with
And
that.
I've sent out a load more today, so if you haven't had yours yet, but you've ordered one, then
Yes.
it's on its way. However, I'm going to say very, very quickly, the green ones are coming off the website today.
The green one's now officially
3
sold out.
left.
So the green ones, I know we found a few extras. They have now sold. So thank you so much, people. How are the maroon ones doing?
We've got a few more maroon, but the green ones, I've got to take them off because I don't want people to be disappointed.
Yeah.
There's only 3 left in the bag.
But yeah, the same's happened to the ochre ones as well. They've now, because I know we've been saying low stock warning for a while, and some people go, yeah, you always say that to juice the sales. But no, genuinely, the ochre ones are now sold out. So green ones sold out, ochre ones sold out, the original dark blue ones long ago sold
Anyone
out.
who goes to the site now and sees that they're still there, they're still there because I haven't taken them off the site yet. Don't be surprised if I refund you if you order.
Yeah, you'll just get refunded. At the moment, we've got the royal purple ones and a few of the maroon ones after we found that big bag.
I can't believe that.
Yeah, these things just fall down the back of boxes. It's just, it'll have been chucked in a box when we were packing up from probably somewhere like Great Electric Train Show. So sorry about that. James Pett says it's not easy being green. Okay, Kermit. Ravenheart Modelling is already asking what's the next colour. GWR Toilet Pan Brown. Careful now. No, I do have the next 2 colours. In fact, actually, I've got 11 colours in a list that I will pick randomly from. But I've already decided on the next 2 colours. But I'm not telling you guys until we're almost sold out on the royal purple ones.
Sky blue, pink with yellow dots on.
No. I'm having a gloat over my 5 badges. This is Valley's 56XX.
Oh, you heartless gloaters.
Oh, they're coming here gloating. Well, can I
come in and have a gloat?
Can I gloat even more and say 1, 2, 3, 4? There's actually 6 badges. You're gonna have to
come on the show. Speaking of that, we were gonna have another person on tonight for the check-in, but we don't.
Oh, were they not able to come on?
I did the last minute they couldn't, so
that's absolutely fine. But what we're trying to do is every week after 8 o'clock have somebody for the check-in. So we'll have a main guest in the first half. But we want to get these badges out to you guys. It's our way of putting a little something back into the community. So if you want your exclusive sky blue, the Caledonian blue Monday Club badge, and it's free. It doesn't cost anything. We just give these things away. Then we've got the check-in. We want to get people on at the rate of at least 1 a week. And it's not like a mega interview. Don't worry. You're not going to be on for like an hour or anything. It's quite simply 5-10 minutes. And if you don't want to appear, I know some people don't like to be on camera. That's absolutely fine. Point the camera at your models. It's always a good way of doing it. So Valley's 56XX says, "I'll come on the show if you'll have me." Yeah, you've got to email in. Richard Gruter says, can you have my wife on so she can moan at you for a bit instead? Oh, you're sleeping in the shed tonight, aren't you? Ben Tullett says, BR Black next. Well, you might think that. I can't possibly comment. I can do a check-in, says Andrew Moy Jones. Dave Holloway says you can have any colour as long as it's black. Yeah, that was Henry Ford with the Model T Ford.
Yes, bit of an oddball, that guy.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much, Roger Windsor.
Goodness.
Very, very kindly donated $9.99 on the
really
super chat. Oh, you guys, do you want to tickle the like button?
I will.
Says get your gnashes on some Dorset ginger biscuits. Oh, thank you so much. That's really generous of you. Thank you. DJ K666 says I'll happily do a check-in. People need to email in. This is the thing. It's all very well to yeah, I'll do it in the chat, but we need you to email in.
I've actually contacted Andrew Moore Jones and given him a set time.
Oh right, I think so. Some of you guys actually, you've already been booked in.
But I don't know about DJ K666.
DJ K666. So yeah, I'll just drop the Cupboard Monkey an email. We'll get that sorted out.
Yeah.
Richard Gruter says, don't mind kipping in a class 66. Might be noisy, you know. Also,
depends if it's turned on.
Yeah, you'll have to tell Ollie from Wardle Restorations, like, get your feet off the seats, I'm sleeping here. And they'll be like, do you mind? I'm working here.
Do you mind? I own this.
No, he doesn't. No, that's only if you sat in his little Ruston.
So, now speaking of sounds and things, we have something coming up next week, don't we? A collaboration between my channel and yours.
Oh, yes. Thomas the Tank Engine, the game. Oh, yes. Have you just lost another one? You have.
They're so small.
You've got to be so careful. It's probably on the... There'll be little bits everywhere. And I'll just be walking around going, ooh, there's something underneath my foot. They'll be on your side of the table, not mine. So, anything going on at the weekend, says Ian White. This coming weekend, well. It's my birthday.
And you'll cry if you want to. Thanks for breaking that. Thanks very much.
Ah! My finger just... I think it's safe. I didn't do that on purpose. I really didn't. Like my finger... Huh. Okay.
Glue's actually surprisingly good because nothing's come off the tank, but all the bits that I've lost, I still don't know where they are. Also, I'm keeping this finger now.
Activate? Oh, activate.
No, my fingers.
Activate emergency backup finger.
Where's it gone?
Please, can somebody give me a finger?
Yes, but not the one that you'll want.
Stop it. Right, anywho. Oh, look at it. Oh, ow. Oh, that's sharp.
What was that?
It was inside my finger. Oh,
You're a doof.
I think we need a new finger. Right. Anyway, can I just say, yeah, thank you, Richard Swiderski. It's my birthday this weekend. Yeah.
Happy
birthday to me. You live in the sea, and you don't want to be.
Everyone says so. You smell like fish.
Doesn't really work when you sing it yourself. So, happy birthday, Jensen's Values 56XX.
Sing it then.
Okay.
Happy birthday to you. You belong in the zoo. You act like a monkey. Stop throwing your poo.
Hey. Thank you, James Regeers Models. And SHGP Media says so many shows were on this weekend. Was a bit daft, really. Yeah, and also we've got a latecomer, Ruben Ashwell. I'm sorry, Gandalf.
The Monday Clubber is never late to the wagons. Nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks, Gandalf.
To be fair to a lot of the shows, there are only so many weekends in the year.
Yeah.
People that are going to a local show aren't going to go to a local show in the other side of the country.
Amber Occupy Railway says, hi, Jenny and Zoe. What is the email for Monday Club videos and the check-in for the people. And thank you so much, Simon Trains Model Railway, who has very kindly given £10 on the super chat.
Goodness, thank you
And
so
says,
much.
early birthday present, happy birthday for this weekend. Oh, thank you, you guys.
Thank you.
Tickle the like, tickle
I
the
will.
like.
I'm trying to.
Mm.
I've got something stuck in my
Yeah.
fingers. I'm trying
Richard
to get
Grutas, there will be cake. Gandalf ignored me, says Griffey. Griffey? As
The
did
Monday Clubber is never late, Toto Wagons. Nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks, Gandalf. And Les Cliff is in. He has escaped from the Jablight Whittling dungeon. Hello, Les Cliff. He says, sorry, so late. Oh, but Les, it's always great to see you in. Live stream Nick says, Abrail was busy as usual. Unfortunately, we were at the Preston show this weekend, and because of motorway closures, it was very much down on numbers. And the week previous, I think, was the Keithley show. But good news, good news, everybody.
Hello,
I have
Professor.
been able to fix my Mazak rotted locomotive. So there we are,
Yes.
25286. She rides again.
And we've got a video coming out this Friday.
There
about
is
that,
a
haven't we?
video. Oh, actually, so giving the game away. Can we fix it? Oh, apparently she can. So there we are. So a big thank you to Andy Fryer's Junctions posse, who found a replacement Bachmann chassis block to replace this sad sack. There we are. Zinc Mazak failure. And it's quite frightening, actually. I look at all the models up there and think,
One thing that we have to realise is that we thought the Mazak rot issue was behind us.
yeah, nobody
It's not.
realised that the Bachmann 25 there could be affected.
Yeah.
Great news about the 25, says Andy Fryer's Junction. Absolutely.
Do
Richard
you want to tell them
Swiderski.
what the situation was when you found it?
What do you mean? What the
You'd
situation?
been sat for most
I've been
of the
sat
weekend
next
right
to it.
next to the
Yeah.
stall selling it.
Where I was sat on the other side of the pegboard behind me was the model, and there it was. Right. No, Valley's 56XX. I can't just super glue it. The reason is because the Mazak is getting bigger, so eventually
Yeah, that's the problem.
it will start to rip apart the locomotive, and that's the problem. And yeah, RG Models 86, I really did think Mazak rot was a thing of the past.
We all hoped it was, but it's back.
David Scott reminds us the Monday Club meet at Model Rail Scotland. Where's the everything? There we are, on the 27th of March. Hope to see you there. David Scott, where at Model Rail Scotland have you got a stand that people will be meeting at? Railway Rob, thank you so much for your generosity.
Oh, my goodness,
£4.99
thank
on
you.
the super chat. Oh, thank you so much. It's a happy birthday. Thanks for singing happy birthday last week. Up
You're
the
welcome.
Pisces. Yes, that's the star sign. Pisces, we're the fishy people.
Yes, you are a bit fishy.
Mm. Yeah.
Everyone says so.
Yeah. But yeah, it's the chassis block is too far gone to use for anything. I've put it there. I'm going to give it back to Bachmann. Like, here you are. Whoosh, throwing through you. No, when we do Key Model World Live, I believe Bachmann are going to be there. So I'm going to tell you, say, look, do you want this for research purposes so you can have a good look at it in the
See
product?
how it happened.
Yeah,
Because I bet they didn't know either.
they didn't actually. They really didn't.
Yeah. It's not like anyone goes out their way to do this.
No. It's quality control of the zinc. Yeah, DJK Triple T. Absolutely, it's poor quality control of the zinc by the supplier rather than the manufacturer's fault. And this is what happened to Hornby 00. And we saw it with Dinky Toys. Well, it was Meccano. We saw it with the Dinky Toys. Saw it with the Hornby 00. And they had a lot of issues in the 1930s and 1940s. And that's when they worked out that it was actually...
To be fair, we had a lot of problems in the 30s and 40s.
Yeah,
Do you want to narrow it down a bit?
But anyway, they realised that it was lead impurities getting in. I found my finger.
Fastest fingers first.
Yeah. Really want to see those fingers. Amber Occupy Railways says, hi Jenny and Zoe, what is the email address for the Monday Club videos and the check-in for people?
Zoe.robinson@gmail.com.
So there you are, zoe.robinson@gmail.com. If you're sending a video, what do we say? Put Monday Club in the subject line.
Yeah, for both, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
Put
for
Monday Club
both is the best thing to do.
because that way it highlights it on my screen.
Send us a link for videos. Do not attach the video.
If you send the actual video, we won't play it because it will crash our system to try and run it.
Paul Grant says, I'm a Capricorn star sign.
Off man,
And
off good.
DJ K666, the 30s and 40s were positively packed with issues.
Just a few.
Bit of an understatement there. Griffey says, well, it's really only Bachmann have Mazda nowadays. Actually, no, that's not true. Hornby items, there's been certain models have had issues. Class 30, early batches of Class 31s, I believe, was one. Merchant Navy's had some issues with motor cradles. Bachmann have had them at the N class. Class 47's first batch from Hellion apparently suffered quite badly. Yeah, Griffey says it's not just lead, it's any mix of old alloys. I think Meccano found that it was when the sacks of the ingots of the Mazak alloy came in to be tipped into the pot to be melted and then put through the machine, what was happening was the metal wire that was twisted together to bind the sack together to stop it from just flopping open, they were flicking that in, and that had the impurities. Goodness. So really it's just about not letting crap get into the pot.
Yeah.
Right.
It's almost like chemistry is an actual thing.
Right. A lot of Simon AC Martin's Hornby Thomas models came down with Mazak Rot 2 RG models.
Oh.
Yes, he sent me a picture. It was heartbreaking. Pretty much every single one had Mazak Rot issues. So yeah, it's been a big issue with certain things. Right. Ham Shackleton says, Jenny and Zoe, if that vid I sent in 2 or 3 weeks ago has come to the top of the pile, don't bother showing it. It was only relevant to the dead rail conversions in the chat at the time. No, but we'll still show it.
we'll
still
show it because you've asked her not to.
Multiple people did spot the TARDIS. That's actually one of the 2 original TARDISes. But there it is. In view, that's where it got permanently attached. I do like that angle. We do need to get a better camera up there, but it shows off a lot of the rebuilt area of the weir yard. Paul Grant says, my birthday is the 10th of January. Been and gone. Griffey says, I've not had one single Kato or Bandai loco with Mazak Rot. And it must be said, technically, I've never had a Hornby model or a Hellion model with Mazak Rot, but I do know that certain models have suffered with that.
Yeah.
Rob RU1D8 says, sorry, I've been visiting my son's grave. Sorry to hear that.
Never apologise for that. Never apologise, man.
Yeah, it's one of the worst things in life is to outlive your own child. So you really do have our sympathies on that.
You know of which you speak.
Yes. Raymond Legg says, I remember in the mid-2000s, Mazak Rot plagued Trix models. Yeah, there was a period when a lot of production moved over to China, and I think the Chinese were kind of relearning the lessons that we'd learned over here in the 30s and 40s with quality control.
Surprised no one told them.
Probably did, but until it happens, it's very easy to be quite laissez-faire and complacent.
If it's been a long time since you've done it, you won't think. Because there is a certain aspect of that with humans. Because we know something, we think other people must also know it.
Yeah, Tim Shaw says the T9 was another one from Hornby. Yeah. The certain N classes. Luckily, none of my N classes have suffered from Bachmann. But I'm told that there were certain N classes where the footplate disintegrated. So they are out there. Generally speaking, if a model's going to suffer from Mazak Rot, it tends to happen reasonably quickly.
Well, at least thank goodness for small mercies, I suppose.
Yeah, so you tend to figure out quite early on. However, I'm looking at this model. It wasn't massively advanced. I wouldn't probably have realised for another couple of years if I hadn't have just happened to take the body off the locomotive. I wouldn't say it's definitely not the worst Mazak rot I've ever seen, but it is there, and oops, as you can see, it has just started to disintegrate.
Can I just say something based on that?
What?
You've just said something very interesting, very thought-provoking.
What? I didn't know.
You didn't know until you took the body off, because you were, what was it, sound fitting it?
No, what it was that the Class 25 from Bachmann is really easy to get the body off, and what I wanted to do at the time was test an ESU Locksound 5 decoder. Now, this model had the 25-pin chassis, so 21-pin chassis, so it was really easy to take the body off and test the decoder. And that was when I spotted it. Otherwise, I would have never had cause to take the body off. But this will not be on its own. The way it works...
If there's one, there's lots.
Yeah, because the entire batch is contaminated, and they make these things in like batches of hundreds at a time. So that means there are others out there. Now that appears to be fairly low-level contamination, but enough to cause the issue, but not enough to cause it to literally just disintegrate before your eyes.
So guys,
but they are out there.
Would you recommend people check their models?
Yes, I think it's well worth checking your models, but also being aware of models which are on the trouble list. What you tend to find is, because it's a batch thing, you'll tend to find it's a certain model that was made from that batch of parts. So it'll be a certain livery example of a particular model from a particular manufacturer, and that then becomes one to look out for. Have you managed to split the barrel? Oh, no,
it's meant to be like that.
Right, I'm with you.
Don't make me worry like that, woman. What are you doing to me?
RG Models 86, you and me both. I've got quite a few models to check. I've got 519, if you know, that one's sorted. And the new chassis block was perfect. Now, I have had a look in some of the other models, which I was wondering would have been made around the same time as the model that got Mazak rot. And I'm pleased to report that their chassis blocks were fine. Now, one of the interesting things I noticed is that there's different paints on different batches of chassis blocks. This has a very, very light grey paint, as you can see there.
Right.
All the other models I opened up and had a look in, and this includes the replacement chassis block I got, had a very dark grey paint on. So it did make me wonder. Yeah, Valley's 56XX says, sounds like D and E Reg Ford Caprice made with pre-oxidized steel. Yeah, there was used to call it the Ford tin worm, and it used to be say, you spat next to a Ford car.
Pre-oxidized it at no extra charge.
Yep. But we used to joke about it and say that if you're on a quiet night, you could hear the car rusting. So yeah, thankfully, car manufacturers are a bit better these days.
A bit.
Ham Shackleton asks Mazak, is there a published list anywhere of the affected models? And to some extent, on RM Web, there is a thread where there is the kind of compiling as people find models that have the Mazak issue. But it's not actually definitive. They're obviously inviting people to report models that they find. My Bachmann Class 25, when I reported it, was the first ever reported incidence of a Bachmann Class 25 with Mazak rot. So, it will tell you models which definitely are ones to watch, but it isn't as yet a definitive model.
It sounds like asking, is there a list of Mazak rot models? Like saying, is there a list of asteroids? There's the ones we know about.
Yes, essentially that's it. It's a list of the ones we know about. Big hello, Alan Reynolds, Buckland Junction. Great to see you.
See you, man.
Absolutely. And just a quick word. It's a really great way to help the channel, no extra cost, and feed the algorithm. Help us out. Help out a pal in the community. Tickle the like button. Consider sharing to social media. And if you haven't already done so, then do subscribe and click the notification bell. Also, don't forget Wednesdays now have the Iron Horse live stream starting at 7 p.m. You can hang out with Craig from Iron Horse Railway for a very knowledgeable chat on all things model railway. I believe he's contemplating doing live weathering. So basically you can sit there and join the master as he shows you how. And I would say it's really great. We've now got a live stream on Wednesdays from Craig. He really does know what he's talking about.
He's really entertaining as well.
Ralph Giles says, hello, Jen. Like number 93. Boom. Thank you so much. Raymond Legg says, a Curascale would be company I'd be wary of buying from if I was into buying new models or British models for that matter.
Why is that?
Well, one of the things I would say, in fairness to a Curascale, just remember that they have their lifetime warranty. So basically,
yes.
If you're the first person to buy, if you bought it brand new, that model is warranted forever. It's basically your lifetime. So what it actually means is if that model gets Mazak rot, it's not your problem, it's Curascale's.
Yeah.
So actually, you can buy the Curascale models with confidence because you know if a problem does develop like that, it's not your problem. So you know, actually, that's pretty good. Iron Horse Railway says, "So kind, thank you."
I take it he was shouting that.
Well, he typed it all in uppercase.
That's shout.
Andrew Moy Jones asks, "How do you detect Mazak rot?" Right, extreme cases.
That's a good question. Can I bring you up on full screen?
Yeah,
so
bring me up on full screen, and then just make it easier to try and see. Right. So what I'm holding here is what's left of the chassis block of a Bachmann Class 25 that has Mazak rot. It's not the most advanced case of Mazak rot, but you'll see it's, for a start, it's broken up. It's in two pieces. They do fit back together, but it's also had big chunks fall apart out the sides. These just crumbled into kind of like almost like a granular silver dusty, like coarse sand. But it's actually metal. But if you look on the top, you can just make out, you can just see, try and get that to focus. You can see the cracks in the surface. It's like a crazing in the paint. And that would be accompanied by a distortion. In fact, against the light there, I can see that this is actually twisted. Wow. And in really extreme cases, if that's very far advanced, what you find is the part that's affected will actually appear to grow. And the reason behind this is because what it's reacting and becoming takes up more volume than the original materials. Like expanding foam. Another example would be things like, so think of steel and rust. A similar analogy, steel takes up a certain amount of volume, but if it rusts, it actually gains a lot of volume. And that's why you sometimes see old reinforced concrete spalling. And what I mean by that, chunks of concrete get broken off. It looks like it's exploded from the inside out. And the reason for that is because the rebar that's inside, as it rusts, gets bigger. And you cannot contain that force. It really, it will exert almost unlimited force until something gives, and the something that gives is the concrete around it. Now, effectively, something similar on a metallurgical level is happening inside that metal. Essentially, one of the best things you can do if you find Mazak rot in the locomotive is dismantle it. The reason for that is because as that progresses, that block will start to twist, get bigger, and the plastic parts of the model, like the actual body, will just get ripped apart. And there's just nothing that you can then do to save that body. And there's a lot of pictures out there you'll find of things like early Hellion Class 47s or Hornby Class 31s, where it looks like the entire front of the cab has just ripped off, and the metal is protruding out. And you think, how has it done that? And it's because the metal has expanded and destroyed the bodies. Now, RG Models 86 says, do damp conditions exacerbate Mazak rot? I don't think people I think, people say, oh, it's heat, it's humidity. Actually, no. If the metal is contaminated, that will happen regardless of what you do.
I genuinely believe that heat is a catalyst,
but it's going
not,
to happen with or without heat.
It's not a cause.
So what you might find is that it might happen faster in certain conditions, but there's no way of stopping it. It's not like you could put the model in stasis and it never actually change. If the model has masoch rot, then it's going to self-destruct over a period of time.
Yeah.
And yeah, DJK666, absolutely, that spalling is happening at Spaghetti Junction. Not just Spaghetti Junction, I believe that the M4 flyover at Hammersmith suffered the same. There's a lot of motorway bridges now getting replaced. And it's actually why the M6 has been shut over a number of weekends near Penrith, as the West Coast mainline bridges are replaced because they've become life expired. Leslie Gilpin Rowe says, with pre-tensioned concrete, as on the northern M6 West Coast mainline, it's badly applied grouting on the pre-tension wires, leading to them rusting and snapping under tension. That's the thing, is that water with concrete, it's water ingress that causes the issue. Also impurities in the steel that promote rusting. Live Steam Nick, concrete cancer, or I've heard it called Regent Street's disease, because you might laugh, but actually there were reinforced concrete buildings built on Regent Street in London, and they were very early reinforced concrete building constructions. So they were the first buildings that people noticed this problem on. So it they gave rise to the name. Raymond Legs, the concrete spalling is because the rebar expands and cracks the concrete. But the rebar expands because it's rusting, and rust physically takes more volume than the steel that it started as. And if that's encased within concrete, it doesn't care.
Something's got to give.
Something's got to give, and because it's a chemical reaction, the steel will turn into rust in the presence of moisture and oxygen, and it will expand, and the concrete cannot, there's no ifs, no buts, the concrete cannot contain the kinds of forces generated, so it literally just rips itself apart.
It's one thing to remember, concrete will take a big pressure from outside. It will not take a big pressure from inside.
Yeah. We've got the dad joke. Okay, Richard Gruters. A Vix lorry has an accident on the M6, but there was no congestion. And Richard Knowles, actually, the old Argoid school near me, which was a brutalist concrete structure, was recently demolished and replaced with a new building.
Brutalism.
They were horrible even when new, but actually, you see a lot of those sorts of buildings now getting demolished, things like multi-storey car parks or what. And the reason is because
they're horrible
of the spalling caused by the rebar rusting. There was that iconic multi-storey car park in Gateshead that appears in Get Carter. That they designed it to have a restaurant on the top. Well, who would want to go to the top of a multi-storey car park for a restaurant? Which features in the film, but that room never got finished, never got used, because people thought, well, look at it. I'm not opening a business up here. But that got demolished because of the issue. Beep beep. Oh, why don't you mess about? Beep beep. Yeah.
They built the entire thing.
Well, Tim Shaw says that's why the Romans never used rebar. But actually, I think it's more to do with the fact that they didn't know about reinforced concrete in that respect. But also, steel was incredibly expensive. They could not have made enough rebar at a realistic price to be able to do that.
Even though they had forced workers, because you can't see certain things on YouTube, they had forced workers, they still could not have made it economically viable.
No, because they didn't have the Bessemer process.
Also, there's another thing. their concrete is different. Roman concrete is very different.
They use it's because
Volcanic.
it's
components.
pulverized volcanic pumice ash, and chemically, what happens is exposure to water actually causes a chemical reaction within Roman concrete that makes it harder. So over time, Roman concrete gets stronger.
Yep, so they didn't need it.
So there you are. Every night's a school night. Anyway, we're going to show some videos tonight.
We've got a few minutes. So there you are. That is the.
You need to paint it now.
Well, yeah. I was going to say the spout. The turret doesn't go up and down because I've
Accidentally glued it.
No, I've specifically glued it into position.
Oh no!
But the turret can rotate.
Yes. Anyway, talking about things that can rotate, why don't you rotate those fingers and show us some of people's videos?
Yeah, but that's going to be used on my Wargame channel, which is called Wargame Hammer.
Absolutely. Beep beep. So we're just going to queue up some videos. I'm going to let's try and get a different.
Oh my goodness! Bring back Pycrete. Oh my goodness!
Pycrete.
We don't need the weird war effort stuff back. Thank you.
What was Pycrete?
It's basically ice.
Huh. Oh, was that frozen wood pulp?
Yeah, frozen wood pulp.
What was the deal with that? Because
they were desperate. It was wartime, and we needed ships.
Yeah, but it didn't work. They just melted. Box girders were a thing in the 60s. Motorway viaducts, Preston, Spaghetti Junction were all closed in the late 60s.
What scale is the tank? 1 to 72. It's a Sherman Firefly.
Yeah, and
it's actually from the Airfix starter sets, which are perfect for wargaming because there's not too many details.
Can I just say as well, anything from 1 to 72 through to 1 to 87 are actually perfectly good for model railways in 00 or HO scale. You know, the eye just says, yeah, it looks about right. So actually, they're a really great source of vehicles, particularly if you're doing like military modelling. They are a great source, and also aeroplanes. I mean, around Weir Yard, we've got. Let's see now. There's now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 1 to 72 scale model aircraft hanging above Weir Yard.
I've just got one of Harvey's old messages came in 3 days ago. It got marked and filtered into the Monday Club list because it's the title is Club Discounts End Monday. So if you've got a club discount at the Hornby Club, it ends today.
Fair enough. Right. Anyway, do hurry up because we are low on time.
We've had a very long chat.
We did actually.
So we've got a message from Ham Shackleton. Probably too late for tonight's video, but here's a video.
So Ham Shackleton, your video's up. We're going to be contrary because you told us we don't need to show it now.
To be
we're
fair,
going to show it.
It's still an interesting thing.
Yeah. So this is self-powered locomotive.
So I'm going to move it over to the correct position.
Oh, there's the locomotive.
I think this is in his
This
shed.
is in his kitchen or somewhere.
I think it's his shed. Ham Shackleton.
Yeah, Richard Grooters, you and me both. Come on, right. So
press the button.
Hit the lever.
Here we go. Beep beep.
So
this is dead rail. This is the one that doesn't have.
It's not picking up the power from the rails.
It's internal power.
It's battery operated.
Yes.
But unlike things where you just flick a switch and off it goes, this you have control, but effectively via remote control. So there we go. It's got a remote control 00 gauge locomotive.
That is fantastic. I like that.
Yeah. So there you go, a little demonstration. So, right. So
to the other side, yeah.
So it's using the other control to change direction, and
that's actually really clever. That's fantastic.
So it's in a way it's like HM7000, but with really good stay alive. So there we go. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. So thank you so much.
Oh, I'm full of cold still.
Yeah, we're not actually all that well. We are sickly children, it must be said.
I've got a damaged immune system, and I spent the weekend at a model railway event.
Yeah.
Shaking hands and prodding boxes.
Little Britain says, wow, he's a reversing lever on a diesel. Somebody's saying that the sound is really low. You'll have to turn your own volume up, I'm afraid.
I'm sorry, guys, but we're in the middle of the orange line.
I think it's not
can
enough.
You press the small button again.
What,
that? I'm going to show them what we're seeing. So we've got here this is the controls, and as you can see,
so there you are.
We're in the orange.
We're touching. We're 5x5 here.
Yeah.
So I think this is not an us problem. It's a your problem.
There's only so much I can do on our end, guys.
Yeah. Richard Gruder says sounds very loud in my kitchen. So yeah, I think you just need to tweak your volume. Right. Yeah, Griffey says have whatever you want, sound, smoke, anything on the dead rail stuff.
Yeah, cool.
Right. So who's up next?
We have Mark Wilkes.
So this is Zantec.
Yes.
Ooh.
And he says, as you probably all know, I'm a member of the Merseyside Model Railway Society. And with help from Sarah Davis, Sarah, you've now invented public open days. But she attended one of the public open days. I thought I'd have a themed night and share the video with you.
Was the theme trains by any chance?
I'm assuming it was a particular style of train.
Ah.
Here we go. Press the button. Engage layout. Intercity running. Oh, nice.
Right,
I do like engage.
Make that full screen and I will hit the lever. Yeah, Little Britain says, I once listened to half a video straining until I realised it was playing into my headphones, which I wasn't wearing.
Well, who's wrong there?
Yeah.
We've all done it.
Yeah, I must admit, yes, you have. So it's a fabulous layout. It's Engage, I believe.
The best livery.
It is
the best livery.
Yeah, I'd go with that.
Bobby Nomad says, "Oh, my headphones are plugged in. I'm hearing the sound from across the room."
And the mystery is solved.
See, there's another mystery solved by the mystery man gang.
Class 31 really does suit intercity livery. I must get a Class 31 in intercity livery.
It's
I
the
think.
best.
Whoa, TARDIS!
It's the best.
Nice.
I was amazed that Intercity 125 that Andy had for 45 quid didn't go.
I like regional railways as well. I do have a 31 in regional railways, but quite clearly, we need to get here. I think it should be a business expense because we need to have a Class 31 in intercity livery.
Check your savings and see what happens.
Well, it'd be a business expense.
Your trains are not a business expense.
Well, I mean, some YouTubers put all sorts through against tax.
I'm sure they do, but we're not one of them.
Oh, right.
Because I don't want to go to jail, my dear.
No, yes.
I'm far too fat and old
yeah,
to go to jail.
Can we just say, taxman might not get you immediately, but they do get you eventually.
Yeah.
Yes, and the taxman has surprisingly large hands when he's going probulating for money. Yes. We have to audit.
I don't keep my files up there.
Well, we have to check. Yes, there'll be plenty of space when we're done. Oh,
I'm really pleased with that.
I can tell.
It's got a bit of weight to it as well. Starter kit tank.
I mean, you could actually, if you wanted, I could glue lead shot in there.
Why would I want you to do that? It's for a war game. What have you just done?
That's not quite.
Oh,
good.
Jen, what have you done?
I don't know. All right, so thank you so much for sending in that video. So we've got just enough time for one more video or pictures. So if you want to really quickly get onto the case there. Simon Trains Mother Railway says sectorisation has some awesome liveries. I'm not a fan of mainline freight, it must be said, or triple grey. But I do like regional railways, Network Southeast, and Intercity Swallow. Yeah. Zoe, could you get the next one?
I could, but you popped the tracks.
Well, you didn't put enough glue on it.
Obviously, I did, but you are just so heavy-handed.
No. James Pett says, I approve of Zoe not being in jail.
So do I.
Yeah.
I'm far too fat to be in jail.
Yeah. Leslie Gilpin Railway says, realised I can't claim for travel to the station or car parking when filming, as they would class it as my regular place of work. Right, so what have we got up next? This is from Alan Reynolds, PVA J-Cloth Alan.
He says it's a video about trackside scenery.
Oh, I thought it was. I saw a picture, and I'm looking forward to this. I've seen the first picture. It's always a pleasure going for a trip to Alan's Buckland Junction. So hit the lever. So welcome back to Buckland Junction. A mixed bag.
You love a mixed bag because you never know what's in it.
Bag of assorted creams. That used to be the nickname of an ex.
Jenny!
Oh, I do love the Southeastern and Chatham Railway C-Class. But no, this layout is amazing. Because look at that. It's got lines coming and going here, there and everywhere. Loads of tunnels and bridges, viaducts. Yeah. I dropped into a live stream when he was painting that cutting, actually. Yeah? Really shocked. Went, hello. Oh, my God, Jenny Kirk. And it's like... Yes.
Yeah, you get around.
Yeah, I love this. Look at this. This is a really epic level layout.
It's a wonderful layout. There's so many different areas to look at and enjoy. But I still remember that time we went down to Devon for the first time for the Rattery show. And one of the guys in Devon looked at you and then looked again and went, what the hell are you doing
What are you doing here? Andy Fryer's Junction, wash your mouth out with soap. I do not want DB Schenker on Weir Yard.
What's wrong with DB Schenker?
It's not for me. But yeah, G-clamps. You can never have too many G-clamps in your stash. No, seriously, they are really useful. I love that bridge. And the tunnel, which we get little glimpses of just to the left, that looks really good. Look at that tunnel mouth. I'm sorry, but it's amazing.
Yep.
The bridge is amazing. I like that.
He's done an incredible job.
These bridges are incredible.
And have you noticed, he's not rushing it to make everything done.
No.
It's clearly enjoying bit by bit as he's going.
But I love the way that, I mean, look at that tunnel mouth. Like, dude, you have done well, my friend. This is a really, really great layout. I have to. Always a pleasure coming to look at this layout.
Is this an extra piece that he's building at the moment?
I guess so. Maybe it's a lift out section with points.
Wow. It's a big video, so I'm going to have to jump it on.
Yeah, it's about quarter of an hour, but this is
guys,
good.
Something to watch afterward.
Yeah. So, some great little scenery modules going in here. Actually, I bought this grass stuff. I'm
built
told...
as a little extra diorama then to place in, I bet.
Oh yeah, you did. I think it's this stuff, which apparently Gauge Master and I think Knock, they got this from Knock. I don't think they do it anymore, but I got these second-hand £3 a bag. Who says that bargains can't be had in this hobby? That's actually really nice, and I do that as well with the tins of Humbrol, using them to hold things whilst glue dries. I do that as well.
Hey, whatever works. Whatever works. That is wonderful. Thank you so much for sending this in.
Can I just say, Class 58 is another locomotive that is missing from my collection. There's not many locomotives these days, but what I want to do is I need to get either the EFE Rail or the Hellion Class 58. And I don't know. I need it. I need it. The Class 58 is a locomotive class that I feel I need. I also need a Class 21. I haven't got a 21. I do have a 29, but I don't have a 21. And the only other tops class locomotive that is available, very important, which I don't have, would be the Class 53. I do have a Class 60, Richard Knowles. I actually do have the Acura Scale Class 60.
You don't show it though, do you?
Occasionally.
You have a tendency to run the same thing for weeks on end and then...
No, I changed the locomotives. And can I just say, we had some gribbles from Andy Fryer's Junction. When are you going to run that green loco you got from the Backman Collectors Club? And it was actually sat on the track, ready to go. So, I'd already thought of doing it. So, for those interested, we've got the Backman Collectors Club exclusive Midland Railway 1P044 tank loco in a really nice Midland Railway green. Now, I don't normally associate green with the Midland Railway, but there you are. We've also got a Class 20 Class 25, Hellion 27, Hellion Class 07, because Iron Horse Railways said, why have you got all these Class 07s? All they do is gather dust. You never run them. Au contraire. And then we've got a Hellion Class 128, which was gifted by, I think, Simon Pitch. I'm being given the hurry up. So
I'm not
time
giving you the
to
hurry
go.
up, I'm just telling you to be aware of the time.
Yeah, James Pets, I do have one of the Kerno Model Centre exclusive Class 41 warships. So anyway, the Teapot of Time is running low on the custard cream of inevitability.
What?
So that means that it is time for us to go. A huge thank you. Everybody's joined us. A huge thank you as well to Robert Steers, who was our guest earlier on. We are going to be sending him out one of the blue exclusive badges. And as always, we need to get... what we're going to try and do is we'll have our main guest from 7:15 to 8. But after 8, we want to do the check-in with you guys. 5-10 minutes tops. You don't even have to appear on camera. Just, come on, talk about your modelling.
Point the camera at your railway if you want.
If you want, just point your camera at your model. That's actually a really good way of doing it. But we've got all these exclusive blue Monday Club badges, and they work to get you the discounts as well. Huge thank you as well, actually, Footplate Models, who name-checked all the great women modellers for International Women's Day yesterday.
Yeah.
And they put me on the list, which is very much appreciated.
And shocking, because... Well, no one ever does, do they? They always forget
last year, Hornby went, oh, we forgot about you. It's like, oh, cheers. Yeah,
it's not like we weren't paying attention, we just forgot.
It's just you're always here, so we kind of forgot.
Yeah, you like the furniture.
Yeah. James Pett says we need a custard cream of inevitability
Oh, don't
badge.
give me more work.
Yeah, give her plenty of work. Anyway, what's coming up on Gamehammer Classic Gaming?
Well, it's all Request Monday.
Well,
so
yeah,
if I've got the game, I'll play it. But the request that I've put in myself is Rad Racer on the Nintendo Entertainment System.
Rad Racer,
It's
wow.
basically Nintendo's version of Outrun.
Right.
So I'll be playing that and enjoying it.
Right, okay.
And before I go, I've got to try and fix this because you broke it.
I didn't break it. You just didn't put it together properly. Put a little bit of cement onto the little nodules.
You mean
Nodule,
the bits that
that's
I'm about to touch on here?
Yeah. Nodule, that's such a great word. But anyway, yes, you will be immediately prompted to move across to Gamehammer Classic Game. Is all request Monday night. But from everybody here, it's been an absolute honour having you along. Please do remember to tickle that like button, consider sharing to social media, and subscribe to the channel if you've not already done so. It's a great way of keeping up to date. Now, this Friday, we're going to be having that Can We Fix It on the Mazak Rotted Backman Class 25. So we're actually fast-tracking that out because
you've mentioned it. So.
Yeah, but also, don't forget, 7 p.m. on Wednesday, Iron Horse Railways will be bringing live stream goodness to Wednesdays.
And
with
5 p.m. on Wednesday is JK2.
Yeah, so basically Wednesday is a quality model railway entertainment night. And yeah, looking forward to that. I think Craig did mention he's going to be doing live weathering, so it'll be a huge opportunity to watch the master at work, transforming his models and showing you how he does it. Doesn't have an airbrush, he just uses powders and washes and varnish sprays. So magic to watch. It'll give you an opportunity to talk to him, chat with him, chat amongst yourselves. It's always a pleasure to listen to him because he knows what he's talking about.
Thing, which is one of the things that we try to do here, which is why I build these kits, and occasionally we do a bit of static grassing and things like that. Making it feel like you're actually at a model railway club. Yeah. That's the main thing.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that, maybe sometime... Oh, yeah, why don't you just throw your muck all over the floor?
All right.
One of the things that I think might be nice to do, hint, hint, Hornby Magazine, here's an idea for you, is actually have, like, live layout building at a show. And I don't mean people sat there whittling matchsticks to make telegraph poles. I mean actually chucking together a model railway there and then, no messing about, and just actually having somebody like me jibber jabbering away as they're doing it and telling people like, here we are, this is static grass.
Actually, that's an interesting point. And we'll end this in a minute. But if I like the idea of live building, but I like even more the thing that you just said. Someone there explaining what the people are doing, so that the people doing it can build, and there's someone there to answer questions.
Yeah, but the thing is as well, I mean, like, you've seen me build stuff and jibber jabber as I go. So
yeah,
you can,
but not everyone can do that.
That's why they need to hire me. I am available. I can do bar mitzvahs, birthdays, weddings, and funerals.
Anyway,
Yeah,
I've got to head
licking
off.
your windows. Anyway, right. Anyway,
I've got to head off now because I've got some stuff to do.
okay. Well, I'm sat here waiting for you to roll VT.
Oh yeah, of course. The ending. Take care, guys. We'll see you later.
Take care.
Jenny loves you, Diesel Shunda. In the yard, you're no front runner. Unappreciated, slow and steady. Metal beast, you're always ready. Back and forth with wagons trailing. In the yard, you're never failing. Rusty wheels and engine humming, steady groans always coming. Gronk it up, you're the one who fills the cup. Pull those wagons back and forth, gronk it up for what you're worth. Gronk the 08 unsung hero. Diesel hard, but love is zero. Jenny sees your true intention. Endless work without a mention. Slow and steady, never flashy. In the yard where tracks are trashy. Jenny knows your secret song. To her, you're where you belong. Gronk it up, you're the one who fills the cup. Pull those wagons back and forth. Gronk it up for what you're worth. Gronk it up, you're the one who fills the cup. Pull those wagons back and forth. Gronk it up.
Yeah, no fires tonight. We have an all-new fire extinguisher for total maximum safety up here in the loft. So, just heard word that Gamehammer Classic Gaming is getting ready to go live. So, thank you so much for joining us. Stay tuned, you'll get your prompt to be able to move on over to Gamehammer Classic Gaming's All Request Monday. Until next time, you guys take great care of yourself. Happy modelling. Bye for now.